And you are actually playing, among other venues here in LA, you're playing the Comedy Store in LA, which is on the famous Sunset Boulevard. And it's one of the biggest clubs, I think, in LA, right?
Yes, it's Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, and Hollywood Improv. I think they're like the most popular.
So are you getting nervous when you go on stage there, thinking about all the, you know, celebrity comedians that were on stage there before you?
Yeah.
Or is that a motivation, maybe?
Yes.
Like I read that, for example, like Jim Carrey and Whoopi Goldberg, they all started at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. It's really amazing that I'm performing there, and I love it. I love the club. It's really a cool location. But nervous, I'm always nervous. No matter where I'm playing, I think if I'm on the street doing my comedy act, I get so freaked out before. But that's just me, because I'm just always nervous. But that's like that's my adrenaline. That's why I don't need drugs. I just go on stage. It's enough excitement.
That's a good point. So, and I also read on your website, which is actually fun to look at for people who want to check out Alice's website. It's alicefrick.com, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I read that you wrote that one of the misunderstandings or difficulties that you face here in the US is that when you introduce yourself on stage as the comedian from Austria, people think you're a Canadian from Australia.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, many people think that I'm from Australia when I say that I'm from Austria, and which is weird because because of the accent. And then they start talking to me like I understand everything. Wait a minute, just from the beginning I'm from Austria.
That's funny.
And then they think when I say comedian, then they understand Canadian. So like, oh, you're a Canadian from Australia? Oh well, yes.
So, maybe they kind of don't want, I don't know, is it maybe because Austria is not really on the map so much, because, I mean, it's such a small country, and maybe, especially here on the West Coast, people are kind of, not really educated about, the whole Europe thing and what's going on over there. Maybe that's why, they don't really think of Austria in the first place. And I was thinking, is it really hard for you, being an Austrian on a stage here? Do they look at you like, what kind of humor is that, Do they even know anything about Austria, or do you find that it's difficult or not?
I think when I say, because Austria, they always think Australia, but what really helps is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So or when they say California, then, oh, you are the same, like our governor. So, but we grew up in Austria with American sitcoms, so I think it's the same kind of humor. And I do stand in Austria. They do more cabaret. The one-woman show or one-man show from the people is more cabaret, so they have like a fourth wall and they just are alone on the stage playing or something.
Yeah.
Comedy, theater, a mixture. But when I started, I always did stand-up. It was just me and my stories on a stage, and I did this for my whole one-woman show. And I think that's because I grew up with American humor, and of course it's Austrian humor too, but it's a mixture.
Yeah.
Because, and I read some books about comedy writing from here, and I did a comedy class here. So I think that dynamic, or is more American, or is easy. It's not so far away from cultural.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah.
That means you can, really be successful on both sides of the Atlantic. Yeah. Yay! And you're not only a stand-up comedian, though, you're also an actress, right? You've been working on films, and can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I did some movies in Austria, and I did some short movies here too, in English, which was fun. Because I always play the crying Austrian woman. And I love acting too, because I love my passion is storytelling, and so I'm working on another project. It's a theater project in Austria, and I want to do it here because it's a one-woman theater and or show again, but it's drama, and I want to do it here too in LA. So probably and it's very sad and very, but it's the opposite of comedy. It's
very emotional and dramatic.
Yeah.
So that's great. So what do you have a preference for any of the trades, or do you think, yeah, I want to do both and kind of like, you know, keep the balance between both of them?
Yeah, I want to do both because I want to do, I love storytelling and I love to tell different stories, and I just love comedy and I love to laugh.
Yeah, we can tell that already. And yeah, where can we see you laugh? I mean, where can we laugh with you? Do you have a show coming up here in LA, or?
Yes, I have next Thursday, so today is Saturday, and it's on December the 17th.
Okay.
At the Comedy Store at the main stage.
Yay, great.
Yeah. So.
Good. Okay. We'll make sure we
store. Yes. Main stage.
We make sure we you know, point to that. And I think that's going to be my last question. But I was you know, I'm always interested in if you could give advice to other young artists who want to make it, or maybe sitting in Germany and who think, oh, I so want to go to LA, but they don't really know how to do it or what to do. Is there any advice that you could give them on how to make it on both sides of the Atlantic?
My motto was, before I came here, it's just jump and the net will appear. And that's what I'm doing. I always jump, and sometimes the net appears and sometimes not. And then it hurts if it's not there. But I think at the end everything works out. So just, if you want to do something, just go for it. And that's me. I just go, and then I hope that the things are going to.
And so far they're working out great.
Yeah, because if you really want something, then just do it, and the things somehow they connect, or you will get it together. And it's probably not easy, and it's probably a lot of frustration, but if you really want it, just go for it. And yeah.
How important is, I'm sorry that I interrupt you, but I always hear that if you want to make it in Hollywood, you gotta have connections. How important is that really? I mean, do you think you can come here without a connection, and just by, you know, working hard, showing that you have talent, of course, making it?
What I did before I came here, perhaps as an advice, is I did so I didn't have a car and an apartment, but what I had was my comedy program and a comedy class. So, which was good because there you meet people who have the same thing like you, and I still meet those people, and we make shows together, which is great because, so I think connections are very good, but here it's easy to make connections but of course you have many fake connections. Yeah. I got so many. Oh yeah, I want you in my movie. Okay, great. So I got so many movies I didn't do, but but I think there are many parties or connections that you can make, and it's easier here than in Austria to make connections, I think, because there are just more possibilities, which doesn't mean that they're the good connections, but at least you meet people, and I met really cool people, and we make shows together, which is great. So perhaps if you start with a workshop to meet people and to get connected, and then you meet this one and that, and then it goes like this. And what was the question?
Yeah, exactly. The question was about connections. Big picture. Yeah, and I guess maybe, you know, people like comedians in Germany that want to make it out here or have a question could probably also get in touch with you.
Yes,
know?
Of course. I'm on Facebook. Like everyone.
Facebook, and where else?
I'm on MySpace too, but I don't. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
I always forget my passwords. So
yeah, that's okay. Facebook is, you know,
Facebook
the thing.
Yeah.
And then your website, of course.
Yeah, and email.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.